Welcome to the poster overviews of the Pathway to Equity, using teaching with primary sources to transform teaching and learning. This is the overview of the poster session, and I'm Dr. Donna Keel from DePaul University. The Bear Education Foundation, as the grantee of the Library of Congress Teaching with Primary Sources program, had partnered with DePaul University as a subcontractor to offer the grant program of teaching with primary sources as a TPS civics microcredential. The intention of the TPS civics microcredential during the 2019-2020 academic term was to inspire teachers with primary sources and skill sets that would help them to not only know how to teach with primary sources, but also how to write curriculum with primary sources, and then become a teacher coach of other teachers. The pandemic of COVID-19 and the endemic of racism required Bera and DePaul to have an innovative shift in what our grant provided to teachers. And so together, what BEF and DePaul did was to focus not only on the TPS civics microcredential, but then to shift to a new kind of connection with teachers. What Bera Education Foundation did and DePaul was to listen to teachers, to research what their needs were very quickly and expeditiously, and then create a responsive program that leveraged the Teaching with Primary Sources programs for the immediate needs of teachers. What we saw was that teachers were feeling stressed, they were forced into remote teaching, and we knew that we could create quickly a program that would leverage primary sources to engage students in learning, use the expertise of DePaul in online teaching and learning to help teachers also reduce the stress and anxiety and create a community of informed civic activists. Together with Bera, DePaul created 4 webinars called CARE. That CARE offered teachers help. It offered them the opportunity to connect in a new and meaningful way. It looked at the unlimited resources of the Library of Congress as ways to leverage new kinds of learning and social emotional supports that would help reduce the anxiety and create a new kind of agility and compassion. We shifted from just teacher training to teacher support. We knew also that teachers needed self-care during the pandemic, and we knew that they needed ways to cope with the anxiety and the anger and the sadness that was happening with their students. We also knew that inquiry, reflection, and community and using the library was a way to bring people together. That if we could give teachers engaging lessons that would work with remote teaching resources, that would take students to a new level of inquiry, that we could help teachers and respond to their emerging needs. So we had 4 topics of our CARE webinars. Topic 1 was navigating uncertainty with using inquiry and primary sources. The second one was engaging students in remote teaching using primary sources. The third, keeping student attention and connecting in an ongoing remote teaching using problem-based learning and teaching with primary sources. And then we concluded the series with empowering students in remote teaching and using civics in primary sources. Teachers added artifacts and lessons to earn a microcredential from DePaul University that applied what they had learned in each webinar, thus taking the teacher learning to a deeply embedded, meaningful way that would actually have impact in their remote teaching classrooms. Then what we knew we needed to do in May of 2020 was shift. The murder of George Floyd shook our nation and called us to action. And Bera Education and Foundation in DePaul immediately shifted, again to respond to the needs of our students and our teachers. With racial equity and racial healing as our focus, we created a new series of webinars that we entitled RISE. And RISE stood for reflection, inquiry, self-awareness, and empathy as the keys to racial equity. Using the primary source analysis tool and primary sources, we could offer ways to deepen racial understanding and unity by really leveraging inquiry. And so we created a 3-webinar series. By using reflection, we were able to use primary sources to understand history more deeply, and inquiry to examine our biases, and self-awareness to connect with meaningful actions of anti-racism, empathy to heal the divisions. RISE was extraordinarily successful, and so successful that this will be our grant efforts this year, taking RISE as a new microcredential with 5 modules and coaching and mentoring. We hope you enjoy the poster session, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at dkiel@depaul.edu. Thank you.